It's a double whammy for Nigeria. Oil prices are falling and its crude production is struggling. For a country that is still largely dependent on oil receipts to drive its economy, analysts say the times are worrying.
The implications are, they could be severe depending on how low the oil price eventually go. Unfortunately, we do not control what happens in the international oil space. So it is only what is within our own control that we can deal with. What is within our control is to see how we can improve production, so that with increased production, we will be able to defray part of the losses from price.
At the moment, the country is lagging behind in its oil production benchmark for this year, which is over 2 million barrels per day. It is currently pumping out just around 1.6 million barrels per day, and that's including condensate. By OPEC estimates, the figure is even lower.
A few days ago, crude oil dropped to about $60 per barrel. And our budget benchmark for crude oil was $75 per barrel. So already, if this trajectory continues, we're already seeing a major shortfall in terms of revenue and in terms of foreign exchange earnings. And this, of course, has major implications. Because if it continues that way and our foreign exchange earnings begin to drop, that means that our exchange rate will come under pressure. And we are beginning to see indications of that. Once exchange rate begins to depreciate, it triggers inflation. It affects the cost of living, it affects the welfare of the people, it takes a lot of toll, cost drives up the level of poverty in the economy. So these are the concerns that we have.
If the shortfall materializes, we may need to borrow more to be able to implement the budget. That's what it means. The debt burden will increase.
Nigeria's Minister of Finance says the government's economic management team is watching the situation closely and would come out with a clear direction if the situation persists. In the meantime, the president has unveiled what the government calls Nigeria First policy as part of measures to cut down on import and ease foreign exchange pressure.
Nigerian industry will take precedence in all procurement processes. Where local supply falls short, contracts will be structured to build capacity domestically. Contractors will no longer serve as intermediaries sourcing foreign goods where local factories die idle.
Administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is committed to going beyond stabilizing the economy to achieve rapid, sustained, inclusive growth that will help lift Nigerians in their millions out of poverty.
The government has not given any clear indication yet that it plans to cut down on its budgetary expenditure. It is still continuing with its ambitious economic reform and awarding huge contracts and infrastructure. So it's pretty much business as usual for now. But things could change dramatically. The drop in oil price continues over the next few months. Deji Bademasi, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.